Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being, having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on Earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multidimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
Welcome to the Empower Me Show. My name is Pam Bright. I am your hostess for this show that happens every week at this time on Thursdays, noon to 1 Pacific time, and what would that be? 3 o'clock Eastern time, and your Central and other times that I don't, but you do, so that's perfect. So just tune in at noon on Thursdays Pacific time and you'll get the show. We also are all over the world, so you can tune in anytime at your convenience to be able to hear us, all of the different shows that have been around since 2021, I believe. I think it's 2021, yes. So welcome to the show. This is my dear friend, Brenda Westwood, that we're just connecting around horses and her beautiful work that she's doing with horses. Is that your horse behind you, Brenda?
Yes, this is one of them. This is Jet. He's kind of a clowning, but it's an older picture, but I thought, it's fun.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, he looks very wise, and I can't wait to hear about how horses are helping us in our own healing and the healing of the planet. So before we get going any further, as I always do every show, it's important for me individually to ground myself and get centered. And I also want to invite you, the listener, to also ground yourself into who you are and who you are as a human being on this planet in a spiritual body, right? The spiritual and the human come together, and it's really important for us to acknowledge that. And we are everywhere all the time out there in the world. So it's really important for us to come together and center. And so I have a process that I do to help us to do that, bringing some light language in, bringing our spirit guides in, really helping us to gather all of the support that's available for us to come together now. So if you can do this, if you can close your eyes, that's optimal. If you need to be awake and driving or doing things on your computer or, focusing elsewhere, just listen to my voice and you'll get the same results as if you had your eyes closed and were looking within. So I use my breath and I allow my breath to breathe me. And so as I connect to my breath, I ask the God of my understanding to enter now into my soul, into my heart space, slowing down my breathing, slowing down my mind, asking my divine presence to take over. And I use my voice as well to just kind of release anything that's in the way of that divine presence. Helping me to calm, center, relax a little bit. And I ask my guides, teachers, and angels now to come in fully into my body system and into my space around me, into my home, connecting with everything that is here and available to me to support me in my life. Ela tasara kitera maneki ababa sheneme esena mayeia. Utera makarari chine mayasundu mbabaye de gira maite. Ole taramakia taramakike chara makishe na makia sahaite. Noke sarabat ne seranike. Ube baye she. Sukabaike. We ask the Earth Mother now to ground us into this now moment, this now space. We ask the divine horses, the beautiful spirits of gentleness and well-being, presence. We ask their spirits now to enter into this space. Ela tusuna maikia da baichena mahla che sarabandekia. Uke saravakia. Ke sundu senamaki sherabai senamaikiba. Ute sarabahite rabai. Ose nanaye. Yeah. And when you're ready, you can move yourself a little bit, get back into your body, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Every time that you tune into this show, you're going to get a little bit of that at the beginning of this show, and also whenever it feels right to bring us into that space again. So welcome to all of you. Welcome, Brenda, to this moment in time. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad we finally got to do this show live. It's been a little while for you to see me live in this time. Life happens and life kind of took a hold of me in a different direction, but I'm back now. You'll see me live with guests and also by myself. Welcome to you, Brenda. Tell us a little bit about you and your life, whatever feels appropriate for you, how you were as a child, how you connected to this world of spirit, and how did you connect to the horses? Oh, I can't hear you, honey. You're muted.
Sorry, thank you. Sorry. Thank you for the welcome, Pam. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, so behind me is one of my equine partners, Jet, and he's an amazing spirit. For me, my mom always had horses. And I believe they're in my blood. When she was pregnant with me, she was like a month overdue, and she went trotting for like 5 miles trying to get me to come. So I think I had no choice but to be with them. And then as a young teenager, I had my own horse, and my girlfriend and I, we would take off bareback, running across the hills, escaping our problems and the challenges of our lives. So that's always been there. I was in my 20s, I believe, when I decided that I really wanted to do something in partnership with horses. And I thought it would be like pack rides and, taking people out into the mountains, and that wasn't it. So, you know how important a vision is, to have a vision in our life?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I didn't have one for so long. I let life kind of happen and like wag me around for most of my life. And then I started college later in life, so at 30 years old. And this beautiful woman asked me, I took a course called College Awareness or Career Awareness. And she asked me, all of us, to write a paper on a day in your ideal life. That truly, Pam, it scared me. And I always had deep inherent trust that I would be taken care of. I grew up with spiritual beliefs, and that we aren't like mortal and we can heal and all those things. But asking me what I wanted to do in my life was a whole nother thing. So when I got out of my own way, I could see in my mind's eye partnering with horses in nature to help people heal emotionally and spiritually. And then I set about to try and find it. Well, find someone to teach me how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. And finally, I found something. There was therapeutic riding, which is fabulous. It helps people with disabilities and children in a great way. But it wasn't what pulled on my heart. I wanted to help people with deep and lasting change and healing from their life experiences. Excuse me. So I went to college, I finished my degree in social work, and I still couldn't find what I was looking for. I found another program, but it wasn't what I wanted. You had to be a horse handler, and then there was a mental health licensed therapist, which isn't the model I wanted to do. So I went about, working in child welfare, and later discovered the reason I got into child welfare was to protect myself, my brother, and my own children. And retrospectively, and then I found Touched by a Horse and the Equine Gestalt coaching method, and that was it. So I've been doing it for 11 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. So okay, that's awesome. Thank you for that. So I want to go back to the whole world of what is a vision and how do we follow it. But first, I want to hear, what does Gestalt mean? And what is that all about?
Okay, well, Gestalt is it's loosely defined as wholeness it's a German word. But Carl Jung developed it, and it's a humanistic, when he broke away from Freud, because that's analytical psychology, which labels and puts people in boxes and talks about the id and the ego and all that. Gestalt is humanistic. So what it holds is that we are naturally whole, resourceful, and creative, and we hold our own answers within. So it really helps us be fully present in the moment and release the unfinished business of life. And I call them the old stories that we do not have to be defined by. So that's what Gestalt is, through an experiential process. So it accesses the whole of us, not just a part of our brain, by talking. So we're up, we're moving, we're finishing stories we couldn't finish.
Interesting. Okay. So then let's go a little further with that. And how do horses fit into that experience?
Wow. Well, it's absolute magic. So I love your background with the Pegasus. Is it a unicorn too? Maybe. It's magical. They are natural gestaltists. So they don't sit around like we do, ruminating about what happened yesterday or what time they're going to have dinner, or somebody poked them yesterday, or that mare bit me and I'm mad at her. So they don't do that. They're in the present moment. And they want us to be in the present moment. So it's all on the ground. What I do, it doesn't involve any riding. The horse is a coach and I am a coach. Or we're both gestaltists, I'll put it that way.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's go back to this whole idea and this world of vision and purpose. When I first started doing spiritual work and started coaching, they were talking about the whole world of vision and purpose and asking ourselves, I think humanity asks, who am I and what am I here to do? I think that's a basic question that every human being has at some time in their life. So how does this work assist that? Those two questions.
I can tell you how it assisted me. So first of all, going to the program in Touched by Horse is a 2-year intensive program. And plus, I did another 2 years of Gestalt training with her. But we're asked to write a vision, a really fleshed out, deep vision and put ourselves in it. Like, if nothing's in your way, what do you want? How do you want to be? How do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? Who's around you? All of those wonderful things. And then we set about with working towards it. And I believe in the law of attraction or manifestation. And so the horses when we are not in our truth, when we are not, like, let's say I have a client who doesn't know what to do with themselves or their life or stuck someplace, the horses will show them where they're out of alignment with their truth and where they're in alignment with their truth. And they do that by many different ways. They can push us, they might. They clear our energies. They, if you're not in your truth, a horse will walk away from you. The minute you land on it, they come right to you.
Interesting. Interesting. And was that through your own discovery that that's what they were doing, or was that something that you were taught that they would do for you?
So, I didn't have any idea. I always knew they were special and magical and unconditional and saved me as a young teen, and all my life. But I didn't know what they were doing. And that's what took Melissa Pierce's training for me to understand, oh my gosh, they're clairsentient beings. They read our energy. They know before we know. They pantomime maybe what you're experiencing. I don't like to call them mirrors because they're much more than an inanimate object to shine back to us. They raise our vibration. Just being in their presence, you don't have to do any work. Just being in their presence lowers our heart rate and our respiration and our cortisol rates.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So where I just went to as you were talking is, so my experience with horses, okay, as a young girl, I think I was, I don't know, maybe it was 7th grade or something like that. We went to a camp. I think it was I don't even know, Christian camp, I think. And we had the opportunity to ride with horses. And it was, we were up on the horse. We were in a line, I think. We were in a group. And each of us, but I didn't know anything about horses at all. I knew nothing about what I was supposed to do, how I was supposed to move with the reins. I knew nothing. I was just up on top of it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for a ride on a horse. All right. Well, little did I know that when my horse, especially when my horse got away from the group, it wanted to get back with the group. And so it started running. Well, I did not know how to handle that. I freaked out like, oh my God, what's happening? So then I got really scared. And then I started screaming like, oh, wait. Well, that freaked the horse out even more. And there were a bunch of low-hanging trees where we were. And so I got bapped up against the trees with this horse running, which caused a bunch of other horses to run off as well. So they went running towards this rockery, and my horse just kept going. And instead of running right into the chain link fence, it threw me off.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I haven't been on a horse since. My glasses got broken. I fell down. All of that. I didn't get back up on the horse.
Right.
And I went limping back to camp. Right? So that was my experience of horses. Like, oh, okay. What did that do? Well, that told me that I'm afraid of horses.
Yeah.
It imprinted, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, ever since then, I'm now 62. Like, okay, there's something here. Like I could have a healing around this.
Good.
What would you suggest to someone like me who's had an experience with horses that they don't trust it, or they don't know what to do with it, or it was damaging, or, they don't really know where to go from here? What would you say to them?
I would invite them to come and have a session with us.
Okay. What does that look like?
Well, it can look like with me on the horses, or it could look like just me on Zoom, or me on the horses on Zoom. We would work with that traumatic experience for you. And you will close that experience so that you don't have the reactivity the fear that comes up the minute maybe you get close to a horse. What do you feel somatically? What's your body telling you?
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, like dream sculpting, which I do also in Gestalt, we can recreate that experience for yourself. You can go through and get the messages for yourself, but you can heal it. So let's say, for example, Pam, the camp hosts, what was their responsibility here?
Interesting. I no clue.
So as a little person, speaking for that little person inside of you that's scared to death, what would you want it to say to those people, those adults that didn't keep you safe?
Well, I don't think I had any consciousness about anybody's responsibility with that.
Now, but from your adult self, now you do, right?
Yeah.
You can speak for her. So what would she have wanted to say to those adults? What?
She didn't want to talk to the adults, but
Yeah.
she wanted to connect to the horse and was
Yeah.
wondering why the horse threw her off.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, we could have a talk with the horse too.
Like, what happened? Why'd you throw me off? Why? And then why'd you do that? And why'd you scare all the other horses? That's what's there. So it's interesting how what I'm hearing is, oh, we are all conscious beings. If we've got a pulse on this planet, if we've got a pulse and we're alive, then we can connect. And those of you who are listening, you can connect to a horse. You can even connect to this crystal right here. This crystal is alive. Now, that may be thinking that you've not ever heard of or even considered, but everything that's on this planet, I believe, is alive. Even those things that we think, well, wait a minute. No, that's a table. That can't possibly be alive. Well, think about, oh, what's this table made of? Oh, it's made of wood. Where does wood come from? Wood comes from trees. Oh, are trees alive? Well, they grow, right? So that tree is alive. So it's coming back to our innate wisdom of who we are and what we're here to do. So can you move to the side for a little bit so that people can really see his eyes?
Yes.
Yeah. And tell us about the connection between our human eyes and the horse's eyes.
Oh, it's like going into another world if you've ever stared into a horse's eyes. It mirrors our soul. And in this way, I'll use the word mirror. But a person, it's like primordial. You get lost in their eyes. People have all kinds of different experiences with that. And it's all energy. But you were just saying too, and the horse is all energy, we're all energy, and they're working on an energetic level, a spiritual level, is my belief. So
beautiful, beautiful. So for those of you who are listening, if you have questions or you would like to have some kind of experience with the horses with Brenda right now, this would be the time to call in. So the number is on your screen, I believe. If you're not watching the screen, the phone number is 1-800-930-2819 for you to call in, talk to Brenda or myself and ask questions. I'm not the expert here with horses. Brenda is. So if you have questions specifically with horses and horse healing, then she would be the one to talk to. I did, however, bring my Oracle of the Sacred Horse deck. So we can do that.
I also have a guided imagery to take people on if they want to do it.
Perfect. So we will do that in a little bit.
Okay.
If you have any questions at all, folks, you need some healing, you need some coaching, this is the place to call in and get those needs met. We also can be reached by the text chat line, which I believe is on the Transformation Talk Radio site. So just type in your question, and I'll have Emily, who is in the background doing all the amazing work, keeping us live, to let us know what you're saying to us and what you need. Okay. So back to you, Brenda. You had some thoughts, I'm sure, when I asked you to be on the show about what you wanted to share. What do you think is the most important thing and message that people need to hear today?
I believe that we do. My most important message is we don't have to be defined by our stories. We are bigger. We need, our essence. We forget our essence. We forget who we truly, truly are, why we're even here on this planet. And our stories in life, our experiences in life can sometimes lay down the tracks for us that cause us to doubt ourselves, that cause us to people please, that cause us to give away our power and not be the human that we're meant to be. So I think that is my most important message. And the horses and I, through Gestalt and energy work, can help people reclaim their power and step back into their true essence.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. So my experience with what I knew as Gestalt therapy was when I was in counseling, and we called it empty chair therapy.
Yeah.
And so if you were to take someone through a process with the horses, how would the horses assist with what I know of as empty chair therapy, which was my recollection was, okay, somebody I'm angry with, a family. We did a lot of family of origin therapy. So at the time it was my mother. And so I was told to put my mother in that empty chair and to just tell her whatever I needed to say. Right. How does the horse fit into that?
That's a super good question. So a lot of ways. Do I do empty chair? Absolutely. Not just empty chair. There's all kinds of things. But yes, so let's say we're doing empty chair, Pam, and we're sitting on the outside of the round pen or the pen where the horse is. So as soon as I'm asking questions, as soon as the background, the real reason that you're sitting in that chair starts to come forward, and the horse recognizes it right away, usually they'll come right over and stand right there. They will line up their chakras depending upon what you need, or maybe where you're stuck in your own chakra system, your own energy centers, where that story is stuck. So maybe it's in your solar plexus, and they'll line that up. Or maybe it's you're not feeling safe in the world. Maybe your safety and security was violated long ago, and they'll back their butt right up to the fence. And they'll hold that space until it's time, until we get through releasing and doing whatever it is we're doing in the experiment. And then the person goes out into the pen with the horse. And the horse is at what we call at liberty. So if a person's comfortable without a halter or a lead rope. So the horse is free to do what it is they see fit to do.
Interesting.
So for example, they might, I might send you out walking around making some truth statements or speaking your truth, and maybe you can't find it. So I might have you stop and ground yourself. The horses love it when we're grounded. And just be in your truth. Well, maybe they can't find it, or there's something they just can't say. And the horse will put their muzzle right on their neck. Right on their shoulder to support them. And then they're guiding my questions. So it's a phenomenal process. It's alchemy. It's true alchemy. It's transformation.
Wow. That sounds very, very transformational. Amazing. Okay. So it's feeling to me like it would be helpful for folks to get a real sense visceral sense within themselves of the horse healing energy. And those of you who are listening, if you have a specific healing that wants to come forth, and you want us to hold that for you, now would be a good time to call us before we go into the process.
Yeah.
So why don't we take a little break so that people can gather that question or those needs together. Use the restroom if you need to, get a bite to eat if you need to, take the dog outside for a minute, whatever you need to do to come back. And then we're going to do a little process with you that will help you to get a real sense of what horse healing feels like, sounds like, experiences within you. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Empower Me Show. I am here with Brenda Westwood, who is a master equine horse healer gestalt coach. However you say that. Get all the pieces of the puzzle together into one statement. That was very interesting. So you just received a message from the herd that's outside of your window. What did they tell you?
Their message to you all is to let go, whatever it is that you're holding on to that doesn't serve you anymore.
Great. Awesome. So we are going to, Brenda's going to take us through a process so that you can connect to the horses that want to work with you. And this is a very etheric, it can be a very natural process, actually, when you let go and allow in the energies that want to come in for you. You often will hear these kinds of messages coming through me as you come on to the show with different special guests that I have. And what I have learned as I'm working with the different energies is that the energies want to connect to us. Because there's a lot of spiritual energies that are available all the time. And spirit is first, right? I've said we are spiritual beings having human experiences, right? We're spirit first. Our soul is 100% spirit. So that thing that we call God, that thing that we call universal intelligence or wisdom, that essence of the universe that we don't even know what to call it, that's who we are. We're a part of that. So the horses are too. And so are the trees, and so are the plants, and so are the waters, right? Everything that exists here. We're all one in the big cosmos of the world. So Brenda is going to bring in whatever these energies are for all of us, and you will get whatever wisdom you are ready to receive through this process. So Brenda, the floor is yours.
All right.
And whatever wants to happen for us will happen. So
if it's safe for you and it's comfortable, I'd like you to close your eyes. And first, let's get centered again. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And bring your awareness to your feet. Notice your body as it makes contact with the surface that you're sitting or lying on or standing on. Bring your awareness to the sounds around you. And come back into your heartbeat. Notice your tongue. Bring your awareness to the temperature of the air around you. And back into your breath. I'm going to call in the spirit of the horse, the goddess Epona, as she guides us through this process. As horses can help us release what no longer serves us, guide us to our truth, helps us let go and allow, and to help us return to our true essence, your authentic self. I want you to imagine a horse coming to you. Don't judge it. It could be more than one. Maybe you see them coming from the distance. And there's a path that lies before you. And the horse or horses are with you. You're safe. They trust you. You trust them. And together you're walking the path. Through the forest. Passing a creek, a bubbling creek with the water spirits. And you come upon a meadow. This is your sacred space. Create it however you wish. Whatever needs to be there for you. Notice your feet. Notice the ground. What is around you? You're creating that safe and sacred space for your healing to occur, for returning to your wholeness. And as you settle into that spot, the horse is with you. Notice their muzzle, perhaps as it nuzzles your cheek, and how soft it is. Become aware of the horse's breath. Now notice your body. Check in. What are you aware of? What are you holding on to that you want to release? That doesn't serve you, that gets in your way. And then notice the horse, perhaps pointing out that area, supporting you in that area. Touching perhaps your heart, whatever it is for you. Notice where you're feeling strong. I want you to ask the horse now. You can if you'd like. Ask the horse for their message. A message for you. And if you'd like, you can ask them to carry away that thing you're holding on to. Perhaps it's a memory, or an experience, or a belief. The magpies outside getting involved. Yeah. And when you feel ready, you can thank the horse or horses. Yeah. Yeah. And when you're ready and the horse can come with you back to the trail and probably walk off into their own direction to be called back whenever you need them. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, get back in your body.
That's great. They actually came in at the perfect time because they what I love birds. I just love birds because their song or their caw they want to communicate. Like all living beings want to communicate. And so what I got as that came in is, oh, they're ready to take it away. They're ready to just help release by letting it, take it away and fly with it, wherever it goes. So for those of you who had that experience with the horses and would like to share your experience, please let us know. We're here for you to absorb that and to witness that and bring it into being so that it is alive and well for you. In the meantime, I will share, if it's okay with you, what I received, which was beautiful. Started out with one horse that came up, and that horse, I believe, first it was white, and then I had two other horses come in. One was black and one was brown. And they walked with me, on the path. And then when we got to the big open space, there was all grass. And then there was this beautiful river that went around it. But then this whole herd of horses came from the distance, and they all came in and surrounded me. Was lovely. It was lovely. They were all there to support me in my journey. And the one horse that had come first to be with me actually laid down beside me and asked me to come on top of it.
Wow.
And so that our bodies could be one. And he just stayed there. And I laid on top of him and absorbed that energy. And then I heard as I was coming out of that I was safe. It was really great. It was really great. So, yeah. So your vision, folks, whatever you experienced is perfect for you. My invitation is to trust whatever the process is that you just went through, and trust the experiences that you go through in your life, because they're all here to support you in your becoming who you get to be in this lifetime. And so, so that's my invitation to you as a listener, is to, every time that you witness yourself in your becoming, honor it. Honor who you are in the moment. Honor who you get to be. Honor what is releasing in you. Honor what is in the unknown. A lot of times for myself, I know the fear of the unknown will keep me stuck.
Yeah, exactly. That reminds me, often we have a central question that we ask ourselves over and over every day. And usually it's outside of our awareness, but if you start thinking about it, what is that question? And that question can either empower or disempower. And so if it's a disempowering question, we can reframe it to empower us. So the reason I brought that up is because one of my questions is, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Being uncomfortable with the unknown, right? I got to know what's going to happen. Can't know. So I changed my question to myself, so it's more empowering. So, yeah.
That's great. That's great. So you have a giveaway that you would like to offer. Tell us about that, and then tell us about how people can find you.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Well, first of all, I am offering $100 off my next weekend intensive, which is about moving through change change in the essence of you. So maintaining our own essence while going through change, crazy changes in this world or changes we're going through in our own personal lives, and not getting ourselves lost. So that is in September here in Montana, in Helena, Montana, and I'm offering listeners $100 off for a week. So by June 13th, I'm offering that. And then I also would love to do this giveaway, and that 3 individuals, I would love to do an hour session with them over Zoom, or if they can come to me in Montana, I'm happy to have them here. An hour with the horses and I, whether we do it on Zoom or in person. So
great. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And how do they find you?
My company is Horse Sense Healing. So my website is horsesensehealing.com. Please note, if you get on there, I'm having it rebuilt, so it might be wonky. But they can call me at 406-261-6191, or they can email me at brenda@horsesensehealing.com.
Perfect. All right. So those of you who are listening or will listen to this broadcast, you've got that information on there. And if you are like, now, what did they say? And it doesn't necessarily register, but you have contact with me, you can connect with me, Pam Bright, at Transformation Talk Radio. You can get me a message there, or you can go to brightbutterflynetwork.com and find me and say, hey, you had a lady on there that worked with horses. She had a giveaway. Can you get me hooked up with her? And I will make sure that happens. Okay. This is magic, guys. This is magic. We have 2 horses here. We have the horse that is one of the many horses, which, by the way, how many horses do you have in your herd that you work with?
I personally have 2, Frank and Jet, and then my business partner, who's also learned to do the same thing I do, she has 3.
Okay. And
yes.
So that was the herd that you were talking about that was outside your window?
I would show you, but I can't get my camera off, but they're right out there in the shade.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So they were holding the space for us for our healing today. That's beautiful. If you want to connect to me, Pam Bright, and the work that I do, and you're like, well, wow, I heard that thing that you called light language, and what do you do with that? That is like my baby. That's the thing that I love because it's full on channeling from the stars. It just comes in for your own healing. I also channel a lot of other beings that want to work with you. And I do coaching as well. So if you want to connect to me personally, then go to Bright, BRIGHT, Butterfly, BUTTERFLY, network, NETWORK.com, and book a discovery call with me. We will get you hooked up with what you need with a session with me. We are always creating new services for you, new programs. All of that is always in the works. So please don't hesitate to connect. And if you want to get a sense of how can a horse help me, then connect with Brenda at horsesensehealing.com, and she will connect you with what you need for your horse sense ability. Aha!
Yes, it's all about the horse.
All right, so let's ask Jet. Let's ask Jet if he has a message specifically, since he's looking right at us, what he wants to tell us. What do you want to tell us, Jet, for the rest of our day, for the rest of our week? What do you want to tell us? I'm hearing wisdom. So what I'm getting is, what I just heard is wisdom and then look within.
Wow.
So anything else that comes through that you want to add to that?
It was lighten up.
Lighten up. That's a good one for me. Yeah. So in the last few minutes, I'll just tell you folks that I'm going through it right now. I've just been going through it, a lot of drama in our family system. And so this is really perfect timing for the horse healing to come through, to realize, oh, I've got so much support around me. And that's my message to you as we end this session, folks, is don't do life alone. There's so much available for healing for you and for really getting a sense of who you are now. You don't have to have the old stories any longer. You can let them go. It's okay to let them go. You will be guided. You will be taken care of. You will be loved beyond anything that you've ever imagined. So let all of that happen. Let yourself be imperfect. That's another message that I get loud and clear with this show, particularly, is because I come on the show, regardless of the mood I'm in, regardless of what I think should happen, regardless of my agenda, I just show up. And then God works through me to you. So that's how life works if you'll let it. Your life is up to you. So let it be really great. Brenda, I'm so glad that you said yes to this program, yes to our interchange. I honestly can see myself coming to Montana to see you, meet you in person, and meet your beautiful horses. It would be beautiful. My next step, and I'm just saying it out loud because I know that it's wanting to happen. The horses are calling me forward, and it's a little terrifying to get back on a horse, but it will happen. So little step by little step by little step, healing happens when we allow it to happen. So, the horses that are holding the space for us today, thank you for coming forward and letting us know that you're here with us for our own well-being. And those beautiful birds that that came forward for our session today as well. Thank you for letting us know that you're always here and available to us. Thank you for taking away those old essences, those old stories, those old energies that no longer serve us. Thank you for holding that space for us. And Creator of all that is, thank you for always reminding us of who we are as spiritual beings having human experiences. We're all in it together. And we can always, always, always have one more step in our healing, in our well-being, in our sense of purpose. What is the one question that's in each of our hearts today that wants to be asked? That's what I'm going to leave you with now. What is the one question that you want to ask for guidance for today? Thank you all for coming. We will tune in next week at the same time, noon to 1. And I'm not sure yet if I'll have a special guest. I will let you know. But I will be here at the same time, and you will definitely see my face. And I will let you know if we are going to have a special guest next week. Please come back. Please have a beautiful day and know that your life is up to you. Thank you, Brenda, for coming.
Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.